Hey Jordana, my name is Justin. Thanks for coming in today.
No problem.
So what made you want to come in today?
I just really wanted to get started with fitness.
Yeah?
Yep.
So you said started. Does that mean you haven't really had a whole lot of experience with fitness before, or
No, not really. I'm kind of a beginner.
kind of a beginner?
Yeah.
Okay. And so what made you want to start with fitness, I guess?
I want to change my lifestyle and get fit and lose weight.
Okay. And like what makes you want to do those things?
I just want to be healthy and live a long time and be able to do the things in my life that I want to do and
For
not
sure.
be inhibited.
Okay. Perfect. Good answer. So like what kind of activities do you typically do in your everyday life that kind of get you out and about, or that kind of prevent you from getting out and about?
I have a really busy schedule, but I like to walk my dog and I like to go swimming, but I have school and work, so it's pretty busy. Hard to find time.
Yeah, for sure. So what are you in school for?
Science.
Okay.
So it's pretty busy.
Yeah, for sure. And what do you do for work? Is it mostly like standing, or like something with a lot of activity, or?
Well, I'm just standing, walking, nothing too active.
Okay. But it's still better than sedentary, like a sitting job. So
True.
that's
True.
and it's a lot better for your like posture and overall just well, I mean, staying nice and vertical, your posture is gonna be a lot better. Okay, so what kind of movements do you like to do, like aside from swimming? Like what would you like to do in like a gym environment, or what other kind of physical activities would you like to do?
I really want to run a half marathon,
Okay.
and I want to be comfortable with weight training.
Okay. Perfect. So those are like they can go hand in hand. Obviously, the weight training is going to help like strengthen your legs and well your whole body to kind of adapt to the physical demands that running would require. But running is also like very aerobic, so it's gonna essentially like tax your lungs, whereas strength training might just tax your muscles. That's kind of the big the way people like kind of weigh those two things. So it's kind of hard to like get really strong and like really aerobically fit at the same time, but you can kind of work both of them and kind of guide in the right path. So what makes you want to do a half marathon? Has it been a goal of yours for a while?
Yeah, it has been. I've always, it's on the bucket list.
On the bucket list, yeah. Actually, myself, I'm doing my first half marathon in about a month here. So, yeah, I've actually started training for that as well. I mean, obviously, I should be pretty far into training right now, as I am. So, yeah, it'd be a perfect suit for you as a trainer because I have that experience.
Cool.
And then I also do a lot of strength training. I like to do some Olympic lifts, a lot of just resistance training, especially with free weights. But that's kind of up to you to decide like what you want to do. So, is there like a particular area that really interests you, or?
Mostly just running.
Mostly just running?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I just want to be able to, pick up boxes and things without having to go and get my back fixed,
Okay, sounds good. And so just like a little bit of strength training
Yeah.
here and there. Okay, perfect. And what do you think, like, why do you think it's taken you until now to start a fitness program?
I think I just didn't know what to do.
Okay.
And I'm a little uncomfortable with the gym. It's a little intimidating.
Right.
Yeah.
How can I make that less intimidating for you?
I think just being like more comfortable with the exercises and having like a plan or knowing what I'm doing will help a lot.
Right, so kind of explaining the rationale behind why we do things instead of just telling you to do things.
Yeah,
And then you
just
can
movements and stuff like that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So that's a huge part of like what I like to do is I like to demonstrate the movement, get you to do the movement, cue you on how you can do it better, and then kind of like tie it all together and tell you like how these movements are going to work together, and how you should like kind of if you're going forward, like if you're going forward alone, I mean, how you could like integrate them do like a push day, a pull day, and a leg day, or you could do like an upper body day, and a lower body day, or like you could really like make it any way you want to. But I'll give you some recommendations on kind of like different kind of programming techniques that you could use for yourself. So just having that knowledge is really important. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, perfect. And do you think there's going to be any like barriers to continuing to work out?
I think once I get more comfortable, it'll be easier to motivate myself to come, because right now it's just a little bit scary.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And are you like extrinsically or intrinsically motivated? Like, do you kind of like put the onus on yourself to go, or would you be more comfortable with like a gym buddy or like a trainer? Is that
Probably a trainer, just to keep me accountable.
right? Okay. And so, would you be looking at doing training for like a long term, or more like short term until you get the confidence built up?
Long term would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And so you want to do a lot of running, obviously, and there's not a whole lot. Like I can coach you on like your running technique, right? But I don't want to just be one of those trainers that puts you on the treadmill for an hour and tells you, oh yeah, keep running. Like to me that's not really training.
Yeah.
So I can definitely help with like programming, giving you some like intervals and stuff like that, as well as the strength training aspect, and then kind of letting you do some of the cardio by yourself, just because that is something that, like, while I will kind of guide you with your technique, but I think that cardio is one of those things where you don't need as much supervision, and you can kind of just take it how you want it. So I can definitely help with programming for that, but strength training is kind of the area I see myself fitting in the most for you, especially because, like you said, you wanted to learn how to do the movements and get more comfortable with those things.
That'd be perfect, yeah.
Alright, perfect. And do you have any questions for me as a trainer or about the facility in general?
No, I think I'm okay.
Alright, perfect. I look forward to working with you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for coming.